the 11th, 2013, July the 11th, 2013. Welcome to another edition of FireYourMDNow.com. That is FireYourMDNow.com. We have the commander with us. I'm going to be pulling him up live in a couple of minutes. But before I do that, want to talk about the latest headline. It's all over the internet now. Diet sodas don't do anything positive. Well, what have we been telling you for 20 plus years? What has Dr. Wallach been telling you for longer than that? Diet sodas, regular sodas, sparkling water, beer, champagne, anything that has bubbles in it is a big bad voodoo daddy. But the MDs and all of the PhD research nutritionists who have no understanding, no respect, and no appreciation for medical nutrition are clueless about what's really going on. They're, shooting blindly in the dark, hoping to hit the target, and they always miss the target. It's kind of like this. Let's say you were an amateur wildlife enthusiast, and, you wanted to help the animals in Africa. And you parachuted into a particular deserted spot in the middle of sub-Saharan Africa, and you observed a herd of lions who lived in this one particular county, one particular part of the African savanna, right? And you observed that they always went to this pool to drink, that this was their drinking hole, and every lion in the group went to this watering hole to drink water. And you also observed that they started to get sick and sick and sick and sick. And then you noticed that other animals who came to the drinking hole, they got sick and sick and sick and sick. And all of the animals who drank from that drinking hole got the same illness. Let's say it's a nasty little skin disease, right? You noticed that every animal in the savannah that drinks at this watering hole gets this nasty skin disease. You could reasonably conclude that it was something in the water that was causing the skin disease, right? Well, that's what the medical doctors do. They look at just a few points of the data. They don't look at things holistically. They look at things reductionistically. They hone in on certain things, and they're like blind people chasing after peanuts. It's like a blind person, a drunk person chasing a balloon on the side of a cliff, right? It's nonsense. Because what's really causing the skin disease in all of the animals who come to this drinking hole is a little fly that tends to live in the bushes in the drinking hole. It's not the water at all. It's a little fly that lives in the bushes on the edge of the drinking hole. And it's the fly's bite on the skin of the animal that causes the problem. It has nothing to do with the water whatsoever, although it would be reasonable to conclude if you were looking at the situation non-holistically that it was the water. Well, this is what the MDs do all of the time. And this research with soda and diet soda is completely crazy because it is based on an a priori built-in prejudice. We've been telling people for decades now that carbonated beverages are wrong. The reason carbonated beverages are wrong is because the bubbles are carbon dioxide. And what does carbon dioxide do in the stomach? Carbon dioxide neutralizes stomach acid. So when you wash down a meal with a carbonated beverage like a Coke or a Diet Coke or a beer or a sparkling water or club soda or champagne even, 1954 Dom Perignon from the rear of the vineyard, please. It's going to interfere with the production of stomach acid. It's going to neutralize any stomach that's in your stomach, and it is going to make it impossible for your digestive tract to pull nutrients out of the food that you just ate. You'll be able to pull calories out of it because that happens in the intestinal tract, but in the stomach, the mineral and the vitamin digestion will not be able to take place because you've just neutralized stomach acid with the carbonated beverage. So guess what? The more carbonated beverages you drink, whether they're diet or not, the stronger the genesis of chronic disease is, because all chronic disease has its roots in nutrient deficiencies. But since the MDs are clueless to the relationship between nutrition and the genesis of disease, they look for things that are in the water, right? They look for things that are in the water. They don't see the fly. They look for things that are in the water. Oh, it must be the inulin. Oh, it must be the NutraSweet. Oh, it must be the sugar that's in there. Oh, that's what it is. Maybe it's the aluminum that's inside the can. They completely miss the bubbles that are right there in front of their face. They completely overlook it because they don't know that nutrition is the fundamental foundation of health. They weren't taught that in medical school. Medical doctors are not taught medical science. Medical doctors are taught how to manage symptoms with drugs and surgery. They're shills for the pharmaceutical industry. That's what they do. They're not taught objectified scientific research. They're taught research that's based on pharmacology. All of the research that's done, virtually all of the research that's done, is done at the behest of the pharmaceutical companies, and it's all done through the lens of reductionism. The lens of reductionism, and the reductionistic lens has thrown the baby out with the bathwater because they discount completely the effects of nutrition. It doesn't even enter into their thinking. And because it does not enter into their thinking, all of their conclusions are wrong, which leads to the inevitable conclusion that the best possible thing that you can do for your health is to fire your medical doctor. Because not only are their therapeutics dangerous, expensive, ineffective, leading cause of bankruptcy, leading cause of death, but the rationale that they bring to bear upon the genesis and the management and the treatment of disease is incorrect. It is incorrect. They still believe the earth is flat, and you're going to them for navigation advice. And this is why everybody ends up, at death's door. Because we're going to the wrong person. We've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. Why do we take the wrong dog to the hunt? Because we don't know there's another dog in the hunt. Because the MDs have been telling you and your relatives for over 100 years that me and my colleagues are quacks, when exactly the opposite is true. The only people selling snake oil in this country have MD after their name. Check out the website, ladies and gentlemen, Fire Your MD Now. That's fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the Health Recovery Online tab. Become a subscriber to my online health recovery information service. It'll be the best $20 you've ever spent a month. $20, for goodness sake. Most insurance copays are more than $20, right? So you got to spend $20 on an insurance copay. What's it going to get you? Drugs and surgery, drugs and surgery, drugs and surgery, death. You're going to pay $20 a month at my subscription service. What's it going to get you? Knowledge empowerment, knowledge empowerment, knowledge empowerment, health. Be the best $20 you have ever spent. And by the way, a week from tonight, we're having a free webinar, a worldwide free webinar on muscular dystrophy with the one and the only Dr. Wallach in the house. Dr. Wallach and I are going to be co-hosting this webinar. It's a week from tonight. Check it out. We're going to rock the world, rock the house. Look to see you there. And tonight's webinar for subscribers is all about the new products in longevity. The new Tangy Tangerine 2.0 Peach Infusion, the new OsteoFX Powder, and the Beyond OsteoFX. How about that? You're going to love it. Be there tonight for subscribers only. You can become a subscriber right now and log on to the webinar tonight. FireYourMDNow.com. Click on the online subscription health recovery program tab. It's month by month. Just join month by month. Cancel at any time. Nobody ever cancels, by the way. Well, some people do. But it's the rare bird because knowledge is power and we deliver the goods. I could go on and on, but I have a guest in the house, the Commander, a.k.a. Mark Denning, all over Facebook at Wellness Warriors. Welcome aboard, Commander.
Dr. Glidden.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I just talked to somebody and found out, yes, indeed, she has a sugar metabolism problem and calcium deficiency. She will be joining the Commander's Group, which is a part of Team Glidden, very shortly.
Hey, Commander, I think we have a bad connection here, buddy. Hold the microphone a little closer. It sounds like you're a mile away.
I know. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better, much better, much better.
Hey, yeah, so, I was just talking to some people today, and they said, we'd like to hear more about what you're saying. I was talking about Doc Wallach's mission today. Well, like you were talking about the lion and all that, I just read an article about how the AMA manipulates people, and I was like, I wanted to scream. They called it science by ambush. How about that?
Well, I know it's the tip.
Are doing?
Yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg, and nobody calls them out on it because nobody is aware of it. Most people, don't even have a high school education, and the high school education that they do have, if they do have a high school education, is really lacking as far as giving people an objective way of thinking. So, people think that the doctor knows best and the doctor knows everything, and my doctor would never do corrupt research, and they just don't get it. They really don't get it. If people understood the extent of the infiltration of the Food and Drug Administration in collaboration with the drug companies, if they had any idea of the amount of corruption that exists in the delivery of medicine in the United States, there would be another revolution. There would be another revolution because, it's one thing when you have a particular political point of view. It's one thing when you have a particular economic point of view. But when it comes to medicine, the stuff that is delivered in the medical theater today kills you. I mean, it kills people. Somebody's political position doesn't kill people, but medicine does. And it's a big, big, bad voodoo daddy.
Voodoo daddy, I like that. Can I use that one?
Yeah, you can use that one. I haven't patented it yet, so you better snap to it.
I'll do it. I'll put you in for it. But yeah, I see that all the time working as an RN. Come on.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I'm one of those few people that, try to tell people the other side is the better side, and it's not the dark side. It's the right side.
So what happens when you have that conversation with people in the back of the ambulance? How many people are receptive to it?
If they're not on a ventilator and I'm breathing for them and I don't have them sedated and knocked out, pretty much all of them, actually.
You got to love it. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. I'm coming back with the commander after these messages. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath. We have the champion of the wellness warriors in the house, the commander, a.k.a. Mark Denning, RN, and we're having a lively conversation today. But I notice we have one of our favorite callers on the line, calling all the way from Germany. So we're going to pick him up right now. Hey, Gottfried, thanks so much for the call. You are live.
Yeah, if you guys... Hello?
Yes, hello. We're having trouble hearing you guys. You're going to have to put the microphone closer.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now perfectly.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. This is Petra from Germany. Gottfried is on the phone. So, he would like to talk about the business because we send you email. Thank you for your email, but you didn't respond anymore,
Yes, okay. We're working it out. We're very busy over here on this end. I got the email, have the email address. You guys are in the queue for getting this worked out. So expect a reply from me by end of business tomorrow. Expect a reply from me by end of business tomorrow, and life is good. Okay?
Okay, we're also working on it. And now that I have you on the phone, Dr. Glidden, I have a question. Gottfried told me that you also were having big problems with the teeth, and the doctor spoiled my teeth already. So, what is your advice? I mean, I can't take these fillings out, or can I?
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry so much about the presence of amalgam fillings that are in your mouth.
No, I don't have these amalgam fillings anymore. I got these white fillings, but, once in a while I have to go to the doctor, and now I realize they're doing bad things to me,
Yeah, I understand. All right, so what we do, what we advocate to support and promote the structure and function of healthy teeth is the same thing that we do to support and promote the structure and function of healthy bones, because teeth are made out of bones. So the recommendation, is the Healthy Start Pack and selenium, appropriate for body weight, and extra calcium. And what I would do I would also add a bottle or two of the plant-derived minerals, just the plant-derived minerals into the mix. And I would mix 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals with half an ounce of the calcium, a half an ounce of the liquid calcium, 1 ounce of the minerals, a half an ounce of the liquid calcium. And I would put that into your mouth and swish it around in your mouth, holding it in your mouth for about 30 seconds to a minute, letting that stuff absorb into the gums and into the teeth, and then swallow it, and then rinse your mouth out with water. So do the minerals, add the liquid minerals into the program. What was that, Commander?
And don't spit it out. Swallow the water you use to swish your mouth out after you take your minerals and your osteo.
Yeah, good point.
Don't spit that stuff out.
Yeah. So we swallow it all. And, over a time, that's going to help your teeth to come back, because you don't have bad and funky teeth because you have a bad gene or because you have a diet that's high in sugar or any of that nonsense. The teeth, just like the bones or the joints anywhere in your body, have run out of the stuff that they need to maintain their integrity. This goes the same for periodontal disease when you have receding gums, right? When you take the minerals into your body, the gums are going to firm up around those teeth like nobody's business. It also doesn't have anything to do with flossing. You've been misled there. So you just need more calcium and more minerals. And, of course, everybody, right, has to eliminate the 10 bad foods. So when you marry the diet with the nutritional supplement program, life is good.
But, Dr. Glidden, I won't get rid of the fillings, oder?
No, you don't need to get rid of the fillings. That's okay. If there's any problem with the fillings whatsoever, the selenium supplementation will help to offset that. You don't need to worry about the stuff that's already there. You need to worry about what it was that made the teeth funky in the first place, so the teeth don't continue to get funky.
You know what? My teeth were okay. To my mind, the doctors spoiled them. When I was a child, I went there twice a year, and they always said, they have to do something. I never had any pain, nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? That sounds to me like medical malpractice. You need to go to a different dentist, my friend. You need to go to a different dentist. What can I say?
You can't believe it. This guy, all he's thinking about is money.
Yeah, well, drive by his house and fire him. Drive by his house, see how big his pool is, and then you'll know where his bottom line is. Thanks so much for the call, Germany. Tell your husband to look forward to my reply shortly. I appreciate it. Commander, we're up against a hard break here. Stick around. When we come back, we're going to talk about manipulation, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not talking about the kind delivered by your chiropractor. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, talking to the Wellness Warriors guy. Check it out on Facebook, Wellness Warriors, the Commander, a.k.a. Mark Denning, RN. Now, Commander, I love to be manipulated, but only by licensed chiropractors.
Amen. And hats off to Heather Rooks for taking over the reins the other day while you were out of town, buddy. He's an energetic one.
Yeah, I know. What about the manipulation that we get from the pharmaceutical industry and from everybody else in the world?
Well, hey, you remember that movie, War of the Worlds, right?
I do.
And how successful was that in manipulating people that the world was coming to an end? They had everybody screaming, the world's coming to an end. And it was all just a hype because it was on TV. Okay, this is another reason my hat's off to Dr. Wallach, too, because, consumers are always misled, by the media and by big pharma because they don't do things very accurately. And due to this, and you and I are both seeing it, and I'm seeing it more than you in reality, when they manipulate this reality, a lot of people are dying. Just a lot. The number one cause we know of death is death by MD medicine, right? So one of the things that came out was a flaw about an omega-3 study by 3 doctors from Greece. And the American Medical Association put it out there. So then in 2012, they come back in the Journal of American Medical Association and they published the data analysis of 20 self-selected prior studies on fish oil and vascular disease. And it showed just an intake of 1,370 milligrams of omega-3s. The following positive effects were given. 9% reduction in cardiac death, 15% reduction in sudden death, 11% reduction in heart attacks, and 4% reduction in all-cause mortality. So JAMA kind of contradicted what the American Medical Association was saying, and again, they've just been trying to manipulate us. But hats off to Doc Wallach for saying, going after the FDA with Jonathan E. Moore and promoting the benefits of omega-3s and getting it out there is some good hard facts. I mean,
well, in the same way that the media is, bought and sold by the corporations around the world, multinational corporations, and that we don't really have any news anymore. It's just all infomercials for this one particular political party, another particular political party, or this particular financial concern. It's not news anymore. It's infomercials, and it's all polluted and upset and through a glass darkly. The same thing happens with medical research, and nobody holds anybody's feet to the fire. And this is now, in addition to this, because, and I think this is an important point to understand for the listening audience, the philosophy of healing that MDs are trained in is referred to as reductionism, and the philosophy of healing that the holistic docs are trained in is holism. There's a great deal of difference between the two. Reductionism is a very peculiar, has a very particular and peculiar point of view. And the point of view of reductionism that is lauded by every allopathic doctor in the world has built-in blinders. And because they're on shaky ground, reductionism is on shaky ground, because the human body is a holistic organism. It's not a reductionistic organism, it's a holistic organism. And when you bring a reductionistic philosophy to bear on a holistic system, you get things wrong all of the time. So rather than understand this and abandon their reductionistic viewpoint, the MDs move the goalposts all of the time. So they'll publish one study in April that says fish oil doesn't work, and they publish another study in June that says fish oil works. They'll publish one study that says, oh, these are the current norms for blood pressure, and then 2 years later they move the goalposts. They stop even thinking about having a cure for cancer. Now they're talking about 5-year survivability. They move the goalposts for total cholesterol numbers all of the time in order to sell more drugs. It's constantly shifting sands. And this is why MDs really need to be abandoned, not because they're bad people, not because we have a stick up our butt against MDs, but because their view and their philosophy, their understanding and their management of illness is a reductionistic one. And reductionism has built-in biases that most people are just completely unaware of. And, the wise among us, and, are starting to change from what they do to what we do. And it's just a problem, a travesty, that most people, I think the majority of people that come into the light of medical nutrition, come into the light of medical nutrition through the back door of the ambulance, because, they don't look for another solution until they're at death's door. And this is a big, big problem, but of course you see this every day.
Yeah, and that's most of the time when people ask me for help. Not in my back of my ambulance, but after that, well, my dad's got this or my mom's got this, what can you do? And we get people laid on, and we have a number of successes, okay? And that's what amazes me the most, because what we're doing is we're consistent with the naturopathic care, the holistic care, we're consistent with this. We don't have to move the goalpost. We just have to keep people moving towards the end zone so they can score and win. You know, and that just blows me away. Well, I think I've stepped on myself a few times. You know, like you said, when you're in the back of the ambulance, yeah, I do talk to people about it. You know, I kind of beat around the bush because I got to be careful with what I say, right? But it's like, you know, when is enough going to be enough? And I've said it sometimes in the doctor's face. He says, well, let's just add this one more medicine. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I have to really watch my words when I'm on my job because, you know, the nursing profession is regulated by the AMA. That's good. And
yeah,
that's why
and you know, you're up.
They'll have this whole big piece of the pie, and we don't get the credit that we deserve as nurses.
That's right, and you do most of the heavy lifting. I mean, honestly, the domain of MD's success, their wheelhouse is trauma care and emergency medicine, and you guys are the point of that spear. You guys are at the point of that spear. Quite frankly, with all things being equal, the nurses would get as much pay as the doctors do, especially the people in the ambulance, because they do most of the heavy lifting and the doctors just clean everything up. I know, you're doing their job, and oftentimes I would anticipate that you're doing their job better than them, especially because you have way more experience than the newbies just coming out of medical school.
Yeah, and there's no respect. They think they're the big cheese. Here's a funny story. It was really not funny. We went to pick a patient up out of an ER. A young guy who was having septic shock. He was in shock and he was having a heart attack at the same time. We walked into the ER. My two partners and I are very seasoned at this. And we got in there. We helped put another IV in, helped get some drainage tubes in and stuff. And his brother's standing there. And he says, he's trying to tell me what to do. And I said, well, you know, we've got our protocols that we go by, but who are you? And he says, well, I'm a doctor. I said, well, that's cool. That's great. Well, we're going to do this, this, and this, and we're going to get him ready to go because he doesn't need to be in this hospital right now. He needs to get to a place where they can take care of the heart attack and get the infection minimized and eradicated. And this is what we're going to do. Well, I'm going to ride along with you. And at first I'm like, well, no, we really don't need that right now. You'll have to ride up front. He says, no, I'm riding back. And over the course of the transport, he got worse. And I let his brother in the back of the ambulance because he was a doctor. That's the only reason I did. And me and my partner had to be very aggressive back there. And I said, hey, Doc, you got any orders for us? He goes, no, man, you guys are doing just fine. Go ahead. Because, yeah, you got to take the right dog to the hunt. You say it all the time, and I emulate you on that. You know, you can't take the Chihuahua to the fox hunt.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because most people don't even know there is another dog in the hunt. So tell me about what's happening on Facebook with Wellness Warriors. Oh, my God.
I'm finding out that the longer the diagnosis name that people are asking me about, the easier the solution for the situation. Just doing in my reading, my studies. Also, too, the combination of people in longevity, Dr. Glidden. You know, Brenda Wright and the essential oils. She is always there now. You know, Blake Graham's kicking in. The president, the COO, Michelle Wallach's there. Steve pipes in every now and then. It's Steve Wallach. You know, it's just it's a great, and the reason I made that site on Facebook was that we could bring people together to help heal the most people that we can, to teach them how to support and promote their body, to, you know, get rid of things like sugar problems and fat metabolism and digestive issues. And more people are coming to me every day. We're about 900 strong now. So it's been about a year, and that was more than I ever expected, you know. That's almost 80 people a month, which is crazy. But, you know, they're coming together. They're sticking together. They're having a good time. They're staying strong. They're staying motivated, staying focused, and that's another reason I brought them together. And they're concerned about where this world's going with how healthcare is being practiced, and they want to see a change. So, you know, I'm just planting a seed, brother. And you know
yeah, I hear you. Tell the listening audience how to access Wellness Warriors on Facebook.
Well, you just got to look for Wellness Warriors. That's the Z.
With a Z, right? That's Wellness Warriors, 2 words, and WARRIORZ like zebra, right?
That's correct. Or otherwise, if you can't do that, my name is Mark, M-A-R-K, Denning, D-E-N-N-I-N-G. Friend me, and I will put you into the Wellness Warriors.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Look it up on Facebook, Wellness Warriors. That's Warriors with a Z on the end. And if you can't find that, which is easier to find than falling off of a log, just type in Mark Denning. Is it Mark Denning or Mark Denning RN on Facebook?
It's still just Mark Denning.
Check him out. You'll be able to find him. He's all over Facebook. And this is what we're doing, folks. We're spreading our message of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition through Facebook, through the webinars, through the radio, through lectures, through person-to-person handouts. We need your help. Get knowledge, get informed. Get a clue, ladies and gentlemen. Commander, always a pleasure to have you aboard, buddy. Now go out there and do a good job.
You do the same thing. You make it happen, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is a live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Today's date, July 11th, 2013. Stick around. We're going to Alberta when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for turning on. Remember that in the 6P, tune in and turn on. Well, we want you to do the same here, except we want you to turn on your brain, turn on your ability to understand that it's possible, necessary, and wise to think outside the box, just like Andrew from Alberta did. Hey, Andrew, thanks so much for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, good to talk to you again. I have a follow-up question with the advice you gave me before.
Yeah, we're getting hold on, buddy. We're getting a lot of background static. I don't know if it's coming from you. Are you outside?
No, but I have you on speaker.
Yeah, take it off of speaker, please, because I can hardly hear you.
Sorry. I have a follow-up question about the advice you gave me before. You told me that you wanted me to take belladonna for my headaches.
Yeah. And
you wanted me to take the 200 CK, but I can't find just belladonna in the 200 CK. I can only find it in about a 20 or a 30 CH.
Okay, so get the 30 CH. Now, if it's the 30 CH, and by the way, the difference is just a difference in strength and potency. Okay, it's a difference in strength and potency. It's the same stuff. So with the 30 C, I would have you take 2 pellets 4 times a day for 7 days, and then 2 pellets every 15 minutes during the onset of an acute exacerbation of the problem. The problem was with headaches, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So two pellets. Yep, 2 pellets 4 times a day, and then 2 pellets every 15 minutes during an acute attack.
Okay, because I also found Arnica, Montana.
No. We don't want to go down that road, and let me tell you why, okay, because knowledge is power. So, homeopathic medicine is a separate and distinct branch of holistic medicine. Now, historically, there were homeopathic medical schools in the U.S. and in Canada, and they were outcompeted by the drug companies in the early 1900s. But the rationale of homeopathy is unique. And homeopathic medicine has its own diagnostic criteria. Homeopathic medicine has its own medicines, its own formulary, and its own way of dosing the medicines and the formulary. And with homeopathy, the trick is hitting the bullseye with the treatment, which is almost exactly the opposite of medical nutrition. Because with medical nutrition, everybody who has arthritis gets the same stuff to support and promote the structure and function of their bones. The only difference is the dosage, and that's based on their body weight, right? Everybody with type 2 diabetes gets the same stuff in order to support and promote the structure and function of their body's ability to metabolize blood sugar. The only difference is the dosage, which is based on your weight. With homeopathy, it's completely different. I could have quintuplets in homeopathy. They all have the same genes. They all eat the same food. They are all subject to the same stress. They could all have headaches. And each of the individual quintuplets would need a different homeopathic medicine in order to help their bodies recover. Now, I gave you the advice for belladonna based on my clinical experience. Now, it's a from-the-hip recommendation, and any classical homeopath that's listening to this radio show their head is popping off of their shoulders right now. Because with homeopathy, you're supposed to individualize the treatment with an hour-long interrogatory process. And, you know, that's a very complicated thing. But based on my clinical experience, my experience with homeopathy, belladonna, homeopathic belladonna, specifically belladonna, not arnica, not lycopodium, not sulfur, not calcarea, specifically the belladonna is the first place for you to go with homeopathy. And I only want you to do it for 7 days. Only do it for 7 days. Call me back a week after you've done it with a report and give me a heads up. Does that sound like a plan, Andrew?
Sure. So you want me to take 2 4 times a day?
For 7 days, and then during that 7-day period, if you get an acute flare-up, take 2 pellets additionally every 15 minutes. Stop after 7 days, call me back with a report, and then we'll take the next step. Thanks for the call, buddy. Thanks for the follow-up. That makes you the smartest man in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, the second hour is coming up, and I'm taking your calls. 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933.